Stream. Hello!
Oh, that, okay.
Hello, my name is Kevin, and I saw the transition this time. This is Dirty 20 Gaming, and these wonderful people are here with me tonight to help me play Scum and Villainy System. Our game is called Corsairs of the Cosmos. The system is called Scum and Villainy. We're using Roll20 to do the VTT work for us, and that's enough technicalities. I don't care anymore. This is I was going to say penultimate. This is the last but one episode, but this is the big bang. This is the boss battle, but because you guys are ridiculously powerful, the boss is basically a planet full of security guards. But we will get to that briefly.
So essentially, this is the climax, and tomorrow is the denouement. Sorry, next time.
Yes,
is the denouement.
precisely, the denouement. I was going to use that.
Smoke
Now you've
after?
wrecked it for me. Thank you. I was going to look all smart. No. You just suck that out from under me. No problem. I'll just go and lay in front of this bus for you while we're here. I guess we're starting with you. These wonderful people that come and play with me every week and have done so now for 9 episodes. This will be the 9th episode tonight. These short series, I love them. These are so much fun because you just take a whole character and you go squish into 10 episodes. And here we go. Doing that to a wonderful degree. The Scarred Adventurer has brought us Jacob. Thank you so much for joining us this evening and the other evenings. And tell us about your other stuff. Because you are a creator in your own right.
Yes, you can easily find me, semi-easily find me, at thescarredadventure.com, as well as the Discord page of Dirty 20. Why was I thinking roll? Roll is nothing in the words of
That's
that.
the other guys.
I mean, you roll for a Dirty 20, but that's something different.
Thank you for killing time so I could type that in. There we go.
Yeah. But still, those are the places you can easily find me. Otherwise, if you find me in some other ways, then it's creepy, stalkery, and I don't know how you've done that, but
Besides, he lives in a really inhospitable place. You don't want to go there. Hiding in a bush outside his house, you could freeze to death in June.
That is accurate.
It's not accurate, but I'm trying to save your life. Also with us this evening, and also from the Great White North, playing 8-ball for the many episodes that we've gone through so far, and Cue-ball, and Mr. Bones, and 3 and 7, and 4, and a bunch of numbers. More balls than anybody else has shown in this entire series. Somebody had to say it. Bison, thank you for bringing the balls very much. And I know you're streaming now too. You finally got around to doing what you said you were going to do, so tell us about that.
Yeah, Monday nights I've been streaming Battletech, the 2018 turn-based strategy by Harebrained Schemes. It's a lot of fun. I've been going through the career mode as a... Did I go pirate? I think I went pirate. And I might actually stick to piracy. This could be a fun campaign. Just to see how the black market goes. That could be a lot of fun. But other than that, I do occasionally stream with Roostbar. We usually play SnowRunner. And I've been looking at the new Outrider game. It's not out yet, but I've been playing the demo. And I might play that. I don't know. It really depends on the money and, the tax return.
Yeah, I hear you. Speaking of Battletech, you can change the name of your crew, so I expect to see Mr. Bones Marauders very shortly.
Actually, it's Mr. Bones' Clanky Boys.
Oh, Clanky Boys. Okay, very nice. I cannot segue from Clanky Boys to either one of 2 remaining people, so I have to just start fresh. Let's start with
Speaking with Clanky Boys, now we go to
the 2 girls.
Solar playing Mahoshi for us. The ditzy / brilliant / insert other word here. Sexy. That's the other word that we have to put in here. I don't think any of us were expecting. But thank you so much for playing Mahoshi for us up until now. And where can we find you and what are you doing?
I'm still running my own little website, which is Bleach the Darkness Within, which is a roleplay for Bleach, the anime. Also, I have actually been streaming on my own. on my own channel, mostly Fortnite. They just came out with a new season, so I've been doing a lot of that. And Among Us. But I'm also open for other suggestions as well, if you guys wish to make that suggestion.
Awesome.
Pretty much all I've been doing, except for working, because, well, they've been wanting me to do a lot of work.
Yeah, I hate how the real world keeps getting in the way of my gaming. I tried to minimize it as much as I can, but every once in a while I have to eat. It's awful. And returning, the top left hand box is empty no longer. Our wayward knight has stopped being wayward and is back. Welcome back, first of all. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for bringing Saga back. As will turn out shortly. We'll bring you back in a heroic and memorable fashion. But where else can we find you?
Right now I'm not doing a whole lot, but you can always find me and my art on Redbubble as Wayward Knight and also on TeePublic.
Oh, nice.
Also, Casey on the Scarred Adventure.
Oh yeah, I do post occasionally on the Scarred Adventure blog. I gotta get back on that.
Don't worry about it. I haven't done it for ages.
The phrases I post on the Scarred Adventurer and some equivalent of "and I'm a little bit behind" are stuck together on this channel on a regular basis. I love the fact that you guys motivate each other and eventually you all produce stuff, and it's wonderful. Thank you. And that leaves me. I'm here all the time. Fridays we're doing the Fun Shot Fridays, different crazy one shot every night. Last night we sent 18 goblins into a city and turned them into the heroes. I don't think Grant. I don't know if Grant Howitt ever foresaw that when he designed the game, but it was a lot of fun. We do this on Saturdays for this week and one more. And then on Sundays, we do our timely intervention, which will also come to a head next week. Tomorrow, they find themselves in The Lord of the Rings, Book 3, just before the hobbitses go over the edge and into the Valley of Mordor. That is where our time-traveling detectives are going to start the 9th episode of their series. And then one more week of this, one more week of that, and then there's going to be a break while our very own Scarred Adventurer fills in for us and gives us 3 episodes of Masks with a group of players that we have not met yet. We've met them as players, just not as a group. And then we're coming back with 2 new series. Again, there'll be this sort of 10-week run, and we'll talk more about them as we get closer to them. But for now, let's get doing on the. Let's get doing. I put a D instead of a G. How do you mistype in your brain? Let's get let's get going. Is what I meant to say. But
Let's
first,
get doing the business.
let's get doing. Suddenly I'm very loud. All right, so let's get down to business. But first, of course, the news.
Yes, very good then. The producers have asked me to say a few words about recent developments. So, pasta, cormorant, tiddles. That's my cat. Good day.
Meep, meep. Meep, meep. Hello, people. When we saw you were coming over, we left out our toys so you could play with them. But you broke all of our toys. You shot the whoopee cushions, you scooped up all the banana peels, and you burned all the squirty flowers. If you won't play nice, you can't come over no more. Bye-bye, people. Meep, meep.
Thank you. I should have had that thought before I. Okay, so here we go. With that, the portal slams shut with a sound, and a bunch of religious zealots who opened it just a few weeks ago look down at all their hard work and go, shit. Meanwhile, the entire military force of this sector is in a hemisphere around this void that is just closed. They are each and every one of them with their lasers and phasers and guns and missiles, all pointed at this non-existent point in space. With the entire military force of the sector distracted, behind them, so to speak, on a planet. 4 pirates in, I was going to say up to your neck, but we passed your neck weeks ago. Over your head is probably the only description left that makes any sense. With that, we are going to start with Mehoshi. Just a quick recap. Just before last week's episode, the 3 of you, Mehoshi, 8-Ball, and Frankie, were getting back to the ship when Mehoshi had one of those moments of clarity and went, oh, I have something I need to do, and disappeared. Mehoshi, you... in the house you grew up in a room you were only allowed into maybe 2 or 3 times in your life. Your dad's den, his private room. Even your mom didn't get to come in here very often. And there he is, sitting behind his desk, looking old and gray and beat. You saw him just the other day, but his mouth was hanging open the whole time, and he was just so totally in shock he didn't have anything to say.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, you guys were killing everything in sight, so maybe he was a bit distracted.
I don't think we actually killed anybody during that bit.
No, we didn't.
I think we disabled his ship, but I don't think we actually shot
I
anyone.
rephrase, mayhem had ensued all around.
Oh, totally.
As is your wont.
Yeah.
But here it's dead calm in this room. And he's just looking up at you like he's waiting for you to speak.
So, what's been going on?
I've been looking for you, but I've also been looking for you because I'm looking for a pirate and I'm missing a daughter and I'm really confused.
How can I help you?
He brightens up. Can I be a pirate like you?
You have to denounce your old ways and go insane like me.
He puts his hand on his desk and stands up. And from the waist up, he was wearing his uniform. From the waist down, he's wearing a kilt and combat boots. He starts to unbutton his jacket and takes off his formal jacket of office, and he does respectfully put it on the sort of the dummy that's beside the desk there. And he looks at you for a second and he stops and he starts to blush. Promise you won't laugh?
No, not right now. Later maybe, but not right now.
Okay. Then he reaches down and pulls open this huge drawer in the bottom of this massive desk, and he pulls out this garment bag, and he unzips it and reaches in, and you can see he's going to make a presentation of this, and he flips the bag off of it, and there is a tuxedo coat cut. That's the cut of it, but it's a thick, heavy jacket. It's got braiding all along the front. It's got a frilly shirt underneath it that's open all the way down to here. There's a big gold chain that goes with it. There's a sword and a scabbard. What do you think? I don't know what to use for a hat, though.
She thinks a moment, slipping back into her other personality,
Mm-hmm.
takes out of nowhere a canvas,
Yep.
paints this beautiful hat with a a feather plume,
Yep. Oh yeah.
and then goes voila, and it comes out into her hands. The
Yep.
canvas disappears, the easel
Oh, yeah.
disappears, and she
Yep.
hands it
Do you hand it to him or
right
do you
back
put it on?
She puts it on him. Let's just say that she'll put it on him.
He
And,
struggled into the shirt and jacket while you were drawing or while you were painting, and he steps forward and he, as you pull it out, he drops to one knee in front of you and bows his head. This is your father. You're looking down at his big bald head in front of you. The cop, the man who trains cops, dressed as gaudy as you haven't been this gaudy in this whole adventure.
Mm-hmm.
You put the hat on him, and he stands back up. You know the Three Musketeers done by with the mice, and the hat's like this big, but it's still fit like physics because Mihoshi. Yeah, he is the classic pirate. Like if it was done now, he'd be like the 30s pirate, right? It's that he's got the style, and he's pulling this off like Sean Connery, right? He's got this.
Right.
And as he stands back up, he starts to swagger like he's on a ship in the ocean. Like he actually starts to move back and forth a little bit. This is I got a ship too.
Good. Maybe sometime I can find it and join you.
Is there like a secret pirate handshake or something?
Yeah. I just smile a lot and make lots of friends.
Okay. What's that group of yours called if I want to contact you guys?
She's a little hesitant about telling him because she knows he still has his authority. And honestly, I can't remember.
You guys don't officially have a name. I called the series something.
Well, that's true. That's
Yeah.
true. We officially don't have any.
The ship has a
chance.
name.
This is your chance to write the name of this group in history. At least in that side of the history books. The others, the piratey side, is a whole different story.
Yes.
Name it after yourself. It'll be funnier that way.
I was thinking about that.
For ages, I've just been calling it Frankie and the People,
It's a
plus Robot.
Leave me Hoshi's Crusaders.
Oh, I like that. I got another voice that I do that I go "arr" a lot I can't do it in front of you. It's like really embarrassing, but and he leans in. I'm gonna call myself Captain Bart.
And I'm Queen Mihoshi of the Pirates. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Do pirates hug? And it's too late. He's just.
She gets this like, okay,
And
type look on her.
he's hugging you like an equal. Like this is not your dad supporting you. This is like, yeah.
It's a bro hug.
Right.
Rohug has one of these at the back of it.
Oh yeah, there's totally like 100 like back pats,
And
so you don't like
takes a
hold
step
on
back.
for too long.
And he doffs his hat and bows to you. And the feather swooshes the floor as it comes back up, and he plants it at an even more rakish angle.
how much dust comes off on the feather.
Oh, dude. But it sparkles because this is a magical moment.
And it's
The
only
entire
when he
floor just
back
covered
up
in
because
glitter.
And he says, okay, I'm going to try it. Until we meet again. And he turns around just bright red and starts heading for the door.
Meanwhile, she's gonna think about the Rebel d'Alliance
Mm-hmm.
and head back there.
As you do, as you start to fade away, you see him throw open the door to the basement, the room you were never, ever, ever allowed in. And in the basement, somehow, impossibly, is a spaceship that looks like an old Spanish galleon.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a robot crew all frozen in space and time. And as he walks in, he just hits a big green button on the wall, and everything starts to move. The ceiling starts to pull away. And you're just, oh, wow. And you're back on the Rebel d'Alliance.
And they begin to sing, "What do you do with a drunken spacer?"
The weird part is, Mahoshi, nobody's on the Rebel d'Alliance except for Mr. Bones' head.
A couple of robots you don't recognize.
And a red robot and a brown robot you don't recognize, but they don't talk to you. They just grunt.
Oh, no, she knows them. That's right.
3 and 7?
Yeah,
Yeah, she knows 3 and
Okay,
7. Yeah, that's right.
So yeah, they still don't talk to you. They still only grunt. But
yeah, but she'll know him. She'll be like, I missed the party again?
Ah.
oh, Mr. Bones, you're there.
Oh, is she on the bridge?
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would assume she would have appeared on the bridge, yes.
Yeah, that's the logical place.
Okay.
So yeah.
So you see Mr. Bones propped up on about 9 or 10 brightly colored pillows. One of them has a picture of somebody's dog on it. And he's sitting there. He's got books. Cue Ball is sitting there. He's got a large 2 Band-Aids where the bullet hole used to be that 8 Ball shot him in order to take his body. He's got his own body at this point. And he's taking notes because Bones is dictating deals to him, because for the past couple of days, Bones has been trying to basically get back to his fixer ways. And now that there's a power vacuum, he's trying to sneak in there. So he doesn't see you come in. What does happen is you trip over the body that's still being built for him. I think you managed to hit his femur. So you trip on his femur.
And I do this little roll type thing where I pop up like in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the he does there.
Yeah.
Ta-da!
Yeah.
Like that type of thing.
We want a somersault.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Cue Ball takes a moment, pauses, like, sir, the ditzy one has returned. and he turns the chair around so that Bones can see Mahoshi. And he's like, hey, you're back!
Yeah, I'm ready to play.
8 and the crazy one already went down. He might have left the keys in one of the other shuttles. I can't go with you. I'm a little... got my hands tied.
I see that.
Cue Ball holds up the 2 hands that are like this and just...
Right. I was gonna say that. Yeah, they actually are tied together.
And so, Bones basically doesn't really fill you in. He's just like, they went down one more time. Or he's like, they went down together.
The Rebel d'Alliance says, appropriate shuttle prepared.
Looks like your ride's here.
She just bounces her way towards the shuttle.
So you get down the hall and into the shuttle bay, and you've heard of this shuttle, but you've never seen it before. It looks like a needle. It's just long and black. It has no windows, no features, no fins, no nothing. There's a little white circle on the side that you walk up and it's like, oh, okay, that's the door, but it's like black on black.
Mm-hmm.
You can only see, as you get close to the edge and look down the side, you can see reflected, written in reflective black on the matte black of the surface of it, the name of this shuttle, which is fuck. You get inside, the door slams.
I'll be shouting as it goes down.
Yeah. The door closes behind you. There's one seat in this shuttle, and it's got like straps, and then the straps have straps, and there's a helmet, and then the helmet has straps, and it's all automatic. It's just there's nothing showing out of you but 2 eyes and 1 finger, and it's just because it missed the finger. And you see a map in front of you of the surface of the planet. And in the center of that map, there's like a bullseye. And in the center of that, you see the part of the city that you're not allowed to go into. And then it starts to zoom in, and you see closer and closer, and you hear clunk, and you feel a bit of movement, and you feel gravity take over, and you are a projectile, just dropping at tens of thousands of kilometers an hour into the atmosphere.
Can I interject? She's fired out of one of the particle cannons.
Absolutely, yes, to get you started.
There you go. There you go.
Even with all the stuff on, your face is going from the G's underneath. The straps themselves are going, why are we here? There's no way she can move. Your eyes are bugging out. This get closer and closer and closer to the center. You see this, the square, the buildings, the fountain, and then boom! Right into the fountain in the middle of the square. There is a boom. The explosion is too big to be loud. It's a hypersonic shockwave just across the city. Just, and all around you, the ship it's one gigantic crumple zone in front and behind you, just like one of those collapsible cups. Yep. And
all the
end
U's compressed as it just says fuck.
Yeah, exactly. All the U's are gone. You figured me out. I didn't know that when I named it. We got there at exactly the same time. Yeah. And all it says now on the side is fuck. It's only about 12 feet long. The door on the side pops open. Mahoshi, you step out. You're at the bottom of a crater about 60 feet deep. And right in front of you is the main building. People are running out of it. Security guards are running into it. What do you do? You know your friends are in there.
I'm sorry?
You know your friends are in there.
I was about to say, she's going to take out, let me see here. She's going to take out from her spy gear like this detector type thing.
Yep.
That'll detect where exactly they are within the building.
Yep.
And not really paying attention other than where she's supposed to be going on the device.
Yeah.
She'll just bounce her way inside and try and bounce her way to where everybody else is.
I can see her being so fixated on the tracker that she doesn't notice she's walking straight up a wall.
Oh, so I was even going to go one step further than that. 5 steps later, but first, you find yourself in the office. But first, what you don't see is what Chad has mentioned. Yeah, around you there is not a window for blocks.
Oh.
Chat. Sorry, I don't mean somebody named Chad. No, Chad said, yeah, there are no windows for blocks and blocks and blocks. People are walking around going, that nobody can hear.
There's like 1 or 2 guys who are still high. They're just like,
yeah. and one teenager walking down the street with great big headphones on who's still going, and has failed to notice that anything has happened.
I'm also just imagining Mahoshi's spy equipment also because just to give her the most direct route.
Yeah.
Also has precognition, so
yes.
it knows that. So take 2 steps to the left to avoid bullet shot here.
Yeah, yeah,
and she can walk through, and then timely, depending on whatever, it'll actually help her to walk you this route.
Absolutely, yes. Let's milk this all the way. Yeah, it's like you go, oh, no, have to take a step to the right. You take a step to the right just as a telephone pole lands there, and you walk up it like a ramp to the 2nd floor. Oh, now I need to move 3 steps to the left. You take 3 steps to the left, and a swinging metal bar catches you by the pants, swings you up another 4 stories, and plants you on a balcony edge. Oh, 3 steps forward from here. 1, 2, right through the shattered windows of the French doors, and you look up, and there's 8-Ball and Frankie in a bedroom. Rebel's laying on the bed. There's a robot maid standing there, just said, yes, sir, to Rebel. Rebel said, "Get ready for the war." And then Rebel also said, all right, I almost forgot about your friend. And he snaps his fingers and the closet door pops open, like a double door.
Mm-hmm.
And you know Han Solo frozen in the carbon? Like that? This is Saga, except it's like this. and Rebel says, your rude friend was aggravating. And he snaps his fingers again, and Saga, you boom, 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 stumble out of the closet into the room.
How long has she been under? Does she have what's the word? Hibernation sickness.
I probably just like fall on my hands and knees, but then I look up and I go, "Hey, fuckers!"
I take that as a no.
That's how you address your queen.
So, we are going to start a fight here because you hear out in the hall the of soldiers rushing up the hallway. Somebody, for the first time ever in all the times we've played this game, we're actually going to do I even have to look it up. What the hell is it called?
Contested clocks.
No, it's an engagement roll. That's what it's called.
Oh shit!
Can I just fail and go last?
You certainly can, but the let's get this here. Let's figure this.
Engagement roll is a little bit different. This is how
It is. This is how well you guys get to the start of the situation. It is, however, a pure fortune roll. So somebody, anybody, it doesn't matter because fortune roll uses your lowest of your group stats. Somebody, give me a fortune roll. First decision: who's going to do it?
Who has at least a 2 in everything? Because I've got 2 3s and a 1.
Already done. There we go. That's how we do
Okay.
it. Take the low of 4. Okay, so that's okay. That means you start in a risky situation, which makes perfect sense. It's actually better than it could have been. This could have been a really bad situation. That probably would have been the default, frankly. But yeah, Rebel is kicked back on the bed. You realize now that the outfit he's wearing perfectly matches the color scheme of this room. It's all electrum and gold and silver. This is posh as posh gets. Just stupid rich. It still does not explain how the son of the hegemony minister is an Urbot, but, you'll have time to have that conversation after.
When a mummy and a daddy love each other very much and they can't conceive, they have a robot.
You know, she said that to Frankie, and I was like, "What'd you do now, Frankie?"
This time, I didn't do much of anything. This time, well, no, I did. I kind of woke up,
Oh,
Outside in the hall, you're...
and then I did all that.
Boom, 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 boom. And across the hall, because you were in the last door on the left, the two of you know this, the other two don't. You heard the last door on the right, the door gets kicked open, and... Freeze! Pew, 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 explosions. And then you hear, you idiots, your other left.
All right, before we start, I'd like to ask a very simple question. How quickly do you want this all to be over?
What are your opinions on tentacles?
That is basically the question that is in mind here, because I have a particular...
Oh no.
Oh no, he's locked up. Uh-oh.
It's such a good idea. Stop time.
I have a particular set of skills that make me a nightmare for people in general.
Speaking of people in general, you guys, you have a look around. Maybe Frankie doesn't because he doesn't care what the odds are. But there are at least one squad of soldiers out in the hallway. The only way out of this through a door is into the hallway with a squad of soldiers in it. You look out the window, out on the lawn, the security droids and drones are starting to lift up. What look like sprinkler heads turn out to be the tops of robots as they pop up out of the ground, and the moss and everything falls off of them, and they, because everybody goes, even though it's a laser gun. I don't know why, but
It's the on switch.
it's done. Yeah, because is way less exciting. The drones start to fly around. Beyond that, you see over the ruins of the downtown, helicopter and hover vehicles are starting to arrive. Some of them with big red crosses on them to take care of the few survivors out in the common area, but mostly apparently attack helicopter equivalents. And beyond that, tanks, and out in the bay, even because there's a bay now. I don't know how that happened. There wasn't one before. There is one now. There is
it was made by
aircraft
Mahoshi,
carrier.
I have to assume.
Why would you do
Just
this
the-
in a spaceship? There's an aircraft carrier and a battleship. I've just decided.
Mhm.
Out in the bay. It's a pond in the middle of a park. There's a theme park. I just figured it out. There's a theme park in the middle of the city. It's called War Park. And it turns out it was all a cover so that they could have an aircraft carrier. Man, I'm quick. An aircraft carrier and a battleship.
There you go.
Wow. What a top-notch cover.
So that is what you are up against. What, with one split second left, would each of you like to do? We're going to do this in the sort of, everybody tells me what they're going to do, and then we resolve it all at the same time sort of thing and make a story out of it. So who wants to go first?
8-Ball is packing the door with the illicit drugs that it and 4-Ball have on them at all times. And so that when they kick in the door, they're kicking in a whole bunch of sparkle dust.
Yep,
So they'll basically get super stoned as soon as they come in.
absolutely. I have
Yes.
written down what you're going to do is drug the door.
This is Frankie just opens a pocket and lets a bunch of his illicit drugs that he also carries with him fall out accidentally.
Just throwing them baggies as you're walking by. I don't
'Cause
need
I think
these.
all of us carry illicit drugs, don't we?
Oh yeah,
I think
it's
pretty much
it's,
everybody's got them. Yeah,
It's on the standard equipment for doesn't count for load.
yeah. Saga,
Can I?
you've decarbonized. God. You still got an issue with that prick laying on the bed, but at the
Exactly.
moment, yeah. What do you do?
I'm guessing the answer to my question. Well, my question is, how quickly do I recover? And I'm guessing the answer is
You
probably.
recovered. Poof.
Yeah, I recover.
This is
Um,
this is Corsairs. This is not a
This
vicious
is
game.
Corsair. Yeah. I'm gonna
You
stand
cough
up.
once. Black smoke.
Graphite dust.
Okay.
You know what? This is Corsairs. You've been asleep You've been kind of stuck in that state for a long time. There's a and another cloud of black dust. Now you make
Black dust are tiny diamonds because it was carbon.
diamonds.
Oh, yeah.
You've sparkled your pants, miss. What do you do now?
Worth a lot on eBay now.
There,
Just diamonds falling
now
out of
we're at the
the
level
cuffs
we
of the
need to be.
pants.
Yeah. Welcome back.
You'd be like, nobody touched this.
Nobody was going to.
And then I'm gonna like combination Naruto run and
Yep.
just sort of like do my acrobatics around the perimeter of the room and land basically on top of Rebel, like
Okay. Yep.
boot
On his
on
bed.
head,
Yeah.
gun pointed at head, like
Yep.
you and I got some beef.
Okay. Draw on Rebel and do it spectacularly. Okay. Mihoshi.
Okay, you know how in the Sims games that when the character does the change to in their clothing, their little sheet comes up and then it comes down when you're done?
Yep.
That's gonna happen with her. It's gonna change from what she's wearing in the picture that
Yep.
Vicky drew to this long, beautiful gown, like she's ready for a ball, and a tiara on her head. Around her waist is gonna be a gun belt with one is fake and one is real,
Okay.
but they both go pew pew.
Yeah. Like diamond plated, sort of, yeah, fancy,
Yeah,
nice
it's
guns.
She's gonna look like a royal pirate, and it's gonna say, "Okay, I'm ready to take command of this situation."
So, yeah, you just, whoop, the sheet comes up, drops again. Mihoshi, I mean, all done, hair, makeup, the gown, the whole deal. The gun belts. I have a question about the guns. Are they style, or are they function, or are they... Like, let me put it this way. Do they go with your shoes? That's the question I really need to ask.
Everything matches.
Okay.
One
So
of them,
these
however,
guns
one
are
of the
bespoke to this dress. Gotcha.
one of the guns is actually real, and the other one is a fake that'll just pop out the little fuse.
just for balance,
few
not
flags.
physical,
Yeah,
but
just
for
for
when you're
balance, just
being, for pictures, when it looks good in the pictures. Absolutely.
You gotta think of the cosplay.
Yeah.
She spent all her money on the dress. She could only afford one real gun.
Absolutely. Which leaves us with Frankie. You look around, they're all preparing madly. The door is covered. Rebel is covered, if that was an issue.
Oh, the drugs
and-
make a picture. It's Mr. Bones laughing. He's got him. So it
That's
looks
the
like
image
Mr.
on the wall.
The
Yeah.
Yeah.
drugs that Frankie handed you make a lovely little heart shape around the.
Okay, you give him ecstasy. All right, now I have to add that to the cocaine. Cocaine, ecstasy, fueled is seen coming up. You may all want to breathe now. Okay,
Yeah,
what are you doing?
Frankie kind of just goes. Frankie looks around, thinks, "I'm just gonna make reality stop making sense," and kind of goes, "I don't need these to see." Rips, like, just pops his eyes out.
Yep.
While the rest of his body kind of grows in size. Hair covers everything. Big snarly teeth
Yep.
kind of show up in his mouth as the lips peel back,
Yep.
and everything's just black. It's like looking at a big black hairy dog, but the snout and the head sort of make one kind of dome shape. And he just kind of cracks his neck. No.
Oh, I could hear that.
Yeah. That,
Yeah.
Finally,
Ooh.
Frankie finally means it.
Yeah, and
Where
then just a big
After that, where are you going?
big tongue just kind of lolls out
Oh, yeah.
of him. Hello, friends. And just as he kind of starts moving around, you can see reality start just kind of crackling away
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
because of the amount of people that are there.
Yeah.
Frankie doesn't need to make any rolls for these.
No. Nope. Not even close. No. There's not going to be a whole lot of rolling tonight. We don't really need a bunch of that.
Oh, I know. I'm
so-
just saying that so I can make sure I don't have to. And reality just falls apart wherever Frankie is,
Yeah. So you just
and
Cthulhu
just
the whole thing.
slowly
Is this the real
expanding
Frankie?
out. This is the real Frankie.
Yeah. This is, yeah, okay. I like it. This is what Frankie and his family look like when nobody's looking. It's finally serious.
Except it's different colored hair for each
Yeah.
of them.
So, yeah.
Frankie is technically the
tiny little
black
patch of
dog.
colored hair. Oh, that's Uncle Frank.
Frankie is technically the black sheep of the family because
Right.
of he's black. He's got black hair.
Yes.
Everyone else is like orange or green. Frankie looks.
He's actually
Like
boring at
pitch.
home. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's one of those. Everyone else has difficulty blending in at night. Not Frankie.
Yeah. So you're going out the window then at the, like all the
I'm
sort
just
of-
letting. I'm just sinking through the floor.
Okay, so yeah, so you drop through, and as you do, you drop into the lobby of the building, and there's wave after wave of soldiers and machines and droids and drones coming at you outside.
Hello, snacks. Time for lovely, lovely tea.
Bones. That reminds me. Can I get some tea?
One of the
3 and
sorry,
7
just
look at each other. One of them goes and gets the tea. They had to have an
Cue
argument
ball's not
about
going to
it.
do it. Cue
and
ball's
this
not
is
going to do
just
it.
Frankie is also when he says lovely, lovely tea. One of the people just kind of their blood starts boiling out of them,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and another one turns into a bag for tea.
So with that, the door is kicked open. The bags, the it looks like Art Attack, except for like addicts, just falls off the wall. The spectacular image, and all the bags burst open, and a combination of cocaine and ecstasy hit a bunch of frustrated soldiers, and This is an 18 rated channel, but let's just say fornication of the most vigorous variety begins to take place in organized fashion, in a very, very military structured sort of hierarchy out in the hall. It's a pyramid. It's a big fuck pyramid. With the lieutenants climbing on the top going, I outrank you!
I mean, the ecstasy would make everyone more horny, and then the cocaine numbs.
It's endless energy. So yes, yeah, and they're lined up by rank. They're piled in by rank. It's probably best. In fact, 4-ball goes and just closes the door so nobody has to watch.
Yeah, you said the lieutenant's like, I outrank you. The sergeant's like, but you don't know what you're doing.
That's what you hear as the door slams shut. So, mechanically speaking, that is no longer a threat, but you probably don't want to escape that way. So, back back on the bed with one leg on either side of his chest, and your gun pointed down at his mustachioed face, Rebel looks up at you. Yes?
I could end you right now.
You could end this one.
Okay, here's a better idea. You're gonna tell me how you ended up the way you are, and you're gonna show me where I can kill you.
All right. Do you want to be a princess? And he reaches up and grabs that big mop of the hair that looks like Play-Doh, because like I said, that is an accurate image of what his hair looks like. That's not like, yeah. So yeah, he said, "You want to be a princess?" And you hear, and it lifts up about that much, this little line all the way around, and inside in this little, you can see it's transparent, but it is clearly very, very protected little ball, is a human brain.
I knew it.
Dunk. So I'll ask you again. You want to be a princess?
Queen.
I'm already a princess.
All right, all right. You want a planet? You want 2 planets? How many planets do you want?
Let's see. I'm a princess. I already have a planet. All the money I could want. I basically do this for fun. So... yeah, no, I'm still gonna kill you.
All right, all right.
It's no fun when they don't play along.
And those big gold eyes are just looking up in your general direction. There's no pupils. It's hard to tell where he's looking. He looks completely relaxed. Utter, like no care in the world.
Or what if I kill your dad?
That'd save me the trouble, wouldn't it? We're gonna take over this whole sector. We'll be the only place that isn't hegemony controlled. You want a part of that? We burned all the records, electronically speaking and physically speaking, as a matter of fact. Nobody knows who you are. Nobody knows who I am.
And why would we want that? Not that I don't want it, but why would we want it?
Freedom. Freedom to be whoever the hell we want to be.
You have daddy issues, don't you?
I got all kinds of issues. But let me tell you, my first act as king is going to be to give it all away.
You see, I don't know if I trust you.
Oh, I don't trust me. That's why I'm going to give it away. I'm taking it away from my daddy, and I'm going to look around for somebody responsible to give it to. That's why I was asking, you want to be a queen?
I'm already a queen.
Okay,
I can
then
have more
forget it.
thrones built, he yells out. Do you or do you not want to run this sector?
It could be argued that because I'm the daughter of basically a mob boss, I kind of already run the sector. But
Not when Bones is done with the place.
Or if Frankie gets to the mob boss.
well, there's gonna be a turf war after this civil war.
Power vacuum.
Frankie doesn't even want to. He's just hungry.
Honestly, Saga's like, maybe if I had my own empire, though, that could be fun.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Who could possibly be bored with an entire sector to play with?
Do I get minions?
All the ones that survive your friends, yes.
So very few.
I mean, we can make more, I suppose. I mean, there's like robots.
And he goes again to show you the skull.
Yeah.
You got a lot of dead people out there.
I like the way you're talking.
Good, then get the hell off my bed and let's design your crown.
Okay, but what
Mahoshi. I'm just gonna cut away. Mahoshi, what are you doing?
She's gonna listen to Saga and Rebel talk.
Yeah.
Interject when she can, like I was doing.
Yeah.
And then she's gonna try and decide: do I want to threaten him with my fake gun? Do I want to fucking threaten with my real gun? Do I want to just bounce around like a complete idiot? She peeks down and watches Frankie for a minute or three.
Yeah, Frankie's just pouring off out of the front doors at this moment into the horde.
And she's going to basically come down to the... She's tired of listening to Rebel. She's just gonna grab a ball out of nowhere, like a cue ball or something, and just throw it at his head, and hopefully it'll go bump. And then she'll just walk out to the balcony and down a flight of steps that just suddenly appear out of nowhere, so that she's on the next level below.
Absolutely.
And
So
slowly
we're
make her
done.
way down.
Absolutely. So you just get ready to get. You throw the ball at Rebel and it just goes thunk into his hair because it really is like Play-Doh. Or and out the window, and you're able to walk down the mess that you made walking up here because it got you up here. So now you can just follow it back down. So you skid back down into the front and. Yeah, there are droids and mechanoids and guards all over the place. Frankie is going to be able to take out a lot of them, but there are still a lot more. You also, in the distance, see all the guns of the battleship come around. You see airplanes starting to take off with the aircraft carrier, and you hear the first boom, boom, boom. And you see 9 rounds come arcing in. You have time enough to think, those aren't very accurate. They're bombing this whole area irregardless of who's where.
Oh my.
And then, Mahoshi, a section of the city crumbles. A section right near but not immediately where you used to live. And rising out of that hole, a pirate ship. A real honest to goodness galleon pirate ship with 72 cannons sticking out of ports on the side of it, sails billowing in the wind, your family crest on pennants on 3 of the tall masts as it rises up under its own power. And you hear in the distance, "Arr, let's kill 'em all!" as your father, long flowing locks flowing in the wind, apparently he had a wig hidden somewhere, under his gigantic hat, his
big powder
pirate
wigs.
mechanical crew in front of him, steering the ship forward, and on the side of the ship you see the name, the Black Earl. And he heads towards the ships. Yes, Saga.
How fast can my family get here?
They show up. What do you need them to do? Yeah. You know a guy. Actually, I know a guy, right?
I know a guy.
Okay. So, yeah. When I'm just going to do the other 2 first, but yeah, well, next, absolutely. Actually, let's do it now. You kind of, and you look around, and one of the guards, or one of the civilians that's walking by goes, "Hey, I know you. Your family's in here." And he opens a cupboard. Take 2 stress for a flashback. Then your family's in the cupboard.
Rebel had a collection.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Perfect. They're all... And every one of them is just carved.
One of them's
room.
showing a royal flush. He's like, "I told you."
So yes, they are there. 8 Ball, what are you doing?
8 Ball's very concerned about that battleship to the point where he's sitting there pointing his finger at it.
Yep.
And pointing its finger at it. I keep forgetting. One of them's mooning. Yeah. Out of the finger is a little green laser, and it's pointed at that aircraft carrier.
Yep.
And for the first little bit, nothing happens. Nothing happens.
Yep.
Camera pans up to the ship, and Bones is sitting talking to 3 and 7, telling some sort of crazy story.
Yeah.
And they're just like, "Meh, meh, 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 meh." And behind Bones is a little blinking red light. That red light says, "Shoot here." So after a little while, eventually, 7 hits 3 and points to the light. 3 hits 7 because what the fuck?
Yeah.
They argue for a bit, and eventually Bones figures out what they're pointing at.
Yep.
So a little rocket pops out of the spinal column of the skull.
Yeah.
Bonk.
Punk, off the button.
Onto the button. And he slowly rolls off, hits the ground.
Little
3 and
Nerf
7 are
dart.
fighting. 3. No. He launched himself.
Oh, so, okay. I just
The
saw
spinal cord was a
I just saw a
rocket.
finger-sized rocket, and after it landed, and on the side it said, "Be careful not to point at eyes." But never mind.
No, it was actually
Safety
Bones
door.
firing himself
Yeah.
off.
Bang. So yeah, at first he sets off, yeah, and off fires what?
Basically, it's a targeting laser for Rebels, so she can get her guns to bear and orbital bombard this poor aircraft carrier pond.
Absolutely. So yeah, dun, 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 the bomb racks on the bottom of the ship release, and just a wall of deadly metal starts to fall towards the surface. It's going to be a while before it gets here, but absolutely. Frankie.
It's just scrap that's gonna just meteor fall.
That's all it needs to be, right? It's just mass falling from this height, from orbit. It's going to be on Earth. It would be doing 45,000 kilometers an hour by the time it got to the surface. Reorbiting speed. What was Frankie? What is Frankie? Fur. I think that's all that's left now.
Just fur, teeth, and what looks like a Tim Burton tentacle hanging out behind them. One of those white and black striped things.
Yeah. You roll out into the courtyard, and it is just victims as far as the eye can see.
Like Frankie
There-
texts.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I was just
Frankie
gonna say,
takes
there's
a
a
step-
moment where passes through the entire bunch of them as there's a brief pause. Go.
Frankie just starts taking steps forward, and as he leaves the last place he was standing, an exact replica of him is standing there that begins to then start moving and jump off on its own.
And then they start just peeling off. Oh, just walk.
Just
right by
creating
the
an
replica, just
army.
left, right. Yeah. Oh. love
Just
it.
creating a small army of Frankies.
Yep. Absolutely.
And
That, we start.
of course, reality is breaking apart. People are boiling when they get too close to them. Some people are going insane at the sight of them and just start eating each other.
Yep.
Like, this is not Frankie the cartoon monster. This is Frankie the Eldritch Horror.
The real monster that is Frankie. Yeah. This is Frankie minus his good mood that made him.
Frankie after his favorite show gets canceled.
Yeah. So everywhere.
Futurama!
Everywhere that Frankie goes, chaos follows behind him. The places he has been are warped and twisted beyond recreation. The ground itself breaks the laws of physics. People that walk through are ultimately crushed and turned into spaghetti at the same time just by being behind where he was. And he starts clearing the city of victims. Because that's all they are now. You don't even need to eat these anymore. This is just sheer destruction.
There's unearthly howls of laughter
Oh, yes.
coming from everyone.
Yes, new mouths built onto the back just for the purposes of laughing.
Yeah. Sorry, and Frankie is eating people just as he walks
Oh,
past.
yes, yeah. just
Like
so
a
they
tongue
know.
will just, the tongue will just
Otherwise
extend.
they pile up and get in the way.
Wrap around someone and then rip him back. Has anyone seen Attack on the Block? Because that's the aliens from that is exactly what Frankie looks like.
Okay. Let's quick cut back inside Saga. Your entire family breaks free from the carbon. There is a tremendous amount of carbon-based farting and burping and glitter. And your grandma goes, "Oh, sparkly poops!"
I'm gonna say leave those for now. Get back to the ship that you obviously came here on, and fight, because we can have something great. And then,
Is
she's
this
gonna-
the castle? Oh, you've done well. Are you married? Any kids?
Grandma, not now.
Well, if not now, then when? I'm not getting any younger in here. I mean, I'm not getting any older. I was frozen in carbon, but I'm not getting any younger in here.
Okay, well, I don't see Dad, so he's got to be on the ship somewhere. Go find the ship and fight.
All right. That one's nice. That's a nice looking boy. He looks good. He's pointing. She's pointing at 8-Ball.
Friend, okay?
Maybe he's a doctor. Oh, I don't like that sound outside. No, not that one.
I turn to my cousin and I'm like, take her and go.
He's like, yeah. He's using one foot to push Grandma towards the door, and he's just pulling guns out and handing them to everybody, like just endless pockets of just handing everybody in the family massive firearms as they step out of the closet.
Oh yeah. And then Saga has plans. She's gonna go back to Rebel and be like, we're gonna go kill your dad.
All right, I'll just wait here then.
Nuh-uh, you're coming with.
All right. And he just rolls up out of bed. I could probably save you the trouble. I know where he is.
That's why you're coming with.
You know, a safe room ain't safe if you tell the people you're hiding from the combination. We gotta go to the basement.
Did Frankie just like melt a hole straight through?
I got a heavy
a
blast.
black puddle that you walk through and then end up on the bottom and just fall through another black puddle, like one of those slow quicksand things.
It's like fast travel, but creepy.
when 8-Ball walks through, it looks like it's walking down a set of stairs.
Honestly, they work exactly the way you want them to work.
Yeah, yeah. So, you lead your pirate family downstairs to the mayhem outside. That's the plan?
Yeah, well, they're going.
Oh no, you're heading to the basement. You're heading to the safe room.
We're heading to the basement. The family is going to get the ship and fight the airship and stuff.
Right, gotcha. Okay. Oh, I can do that. Okay. They head down one hallway. The one that was handing out the guns is like, yeah, I got a map of this place too. I know a guy.
I know you know a guy.
Everybody knows the guy in this family. We know every guy that ever existed, and some of the girls too. It's how this family works.
Frankie knows people, but not good people.
I'll bet you even that one's married with kids. I'll bet you already 3 or 4 kids for his grandma.
He could materialize children if he wanted. Just go.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Then you don't have to go through all the lower back pain and the swollen boobs and everything.
Well, there still is lower back pain. You just spray Frankie with water and he multiplies like gremlins.
Anyway, they heard grandma down the stairs and out the door. Your nephew or niece or whoever it is, it's hard to tell anymore. They're all kind of, they're all maniacs. Go down another hallway and through a door that you hadn't seen before that's marked parking. And they head through there. They're going to get the family ship. From previous experience, it's called the Shippa Nostra, which means our ship. So that will be out shortly. It looks like a huge black limousine.
Of course it does.
Because I didn't have time to think of anything else, so that's what it looks like. So yeah, that's what's
with
coming
suicide
out
doors.
Yeah, with suicide doors and guns everywhere. So that's where your family is heading outside to help Frankie. Maybe clean up the remains after Frankie. You are heading downstairs with Rebel to the safe room. Gotcha. Mihoshi, you are outside, right?
No.
No.
I was on the balcony and I was walking down the steps.
Right. Yes.
I somewhat overhear what Rebel says.
Yep.
About where his father is.
Yep.
And I end up making my way down there and arrive about the same time that Saga and Rebel do.
Perfect. Bring them back together. Excellent. 8-Ball.
8-Ball went into the pit with everyone else, so because
you're
8-Ball
also
went down the stairs, so it's with
right.
Saga and
Which leaves
Hiroshima.
Frankie outside. Frankie, they are at this point, they're trying to, this always happens, they're trying to pull back from you at this point. They're doing this retreaty thing.
Frankie, not Frankie. I snap my fingers with the big paws that I've got still. And like giant versions of my head just kind of sink up from under the ground.
Yes.
Can't spell retreat without treat.
And then drag people back down.
So the wall of Frankies that you created at the start is like herding them backwards into a space, and as they're backing away into that, these little tiny Frankie heads keep popping up behind them and grabbing at their ankles as they go by.
No, I mean like one giant head.
One pops up and like sharks. Sharks a guy.
On a tentacle and just starts picking them out of the crowd. All of those things happen. There's little Frankies, there's big Frank. Even Frankie has lost control of Frankie now. Frankie's gone full feral. Full feral Frankie.
I'm a little confused as what's going on anymore. Maybe I should go back and see what's going on with the others.
Now I've got this
being
t-shirt
near
in
me
my mind.
affect them in a negative way.
Now I've got this
don't
t-shirt in my
know.
mind. It's dark green and it's all just white vines everywhere with Frankie's face looking confused in the middle. This has all gotten a little carried away.
You know, Frankie looks at one of the other Frankies and says,
You've got the stuff here. I trust you. Don't worry, other Frankie. I trust you. We all trust each other. We're Frankies! Frankies!
is a huge
And at the end of, in the middle
cry
of that,
from
one
the
of the
crowd.
Frankies looks at one of the other Frankies and goes, "It's my chance," and rips off his head. I hate that fucking Frankie. I have always hated that Frankie. They came into existence like 4 seconds ago, but other
You
than
know
that,
what? As
everything's
long as
fine.
you just keep Victims, just keep going after the victims.
Yes.
See you later.
So yeah.
And
we knew
just
the
Frankie
physical
kind of
fight
turns
was
around and walks back into the mansion.
and down
I'm getting
hole
bored
into
out
the
here all by
basement.
myself.
Frankie's lonely.
So the five of you narratively arrive at the same time in the basement of this mansion. It's not really a mansion down here. It's carved out of the raw rock of this planet. You are finally so far down that you see the real planet underneath this city that's been sitting on top of it for hundreds of years. A city which you realize now is no longer a city. It has no power, no water. Most of it's on fire. There are several civil wars going on. Frankie is afoot. Frankies are afoot up on the surface. The Black Earl is patrolling the area, and you hear deep booming explosions on the tiny park as the war park ceases to exist under the booming of nuclear-powered cannons and the screaming of "Arr!" Or is it "Arr! Arr! Arr! Arr!" It's your dad practicing R's. Yeah. So
None of the crew care because they're all robots.
no, they're all robots. They're just steering the ship and running the cannons and yeah.
A very tiny Frankie appears on the ship. Try some yo-hos too, sir.
a parrot with Frankie's face.
Yo ho! No, I don't think that's right. I like your accent, though. I'm stealing that. Yo ho! No, that's not it again. I've got it wrong
Yahor.
again.
Your
That's for shore leave.
Yeah.
Exactly, sir. Whatever that little tiny man said over there, can you hear between the spaces?
and the tiny Frankie / parrot that now has an earring, a little gold hoop earring, and so does Mahoshi's dad underneath the fake hair. He's got a gold hoop earring going as well, and a couple of dreads have grown out now somehow magically as well. And yes, the pirating is going mad over there in a more traditional piratey fashion. Downstairs in the basement, Rebel suddenly gets serious. All right. You're going to kill him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Heavy blaster.
Okay. And there's this huge heavy door in front of you set into the rock wall and a little keypad. He reaches over and presses 1, 1, 1, 1. Enter. And just steps back and leans against the wall. The door
It
goes.
suddenly occurs to me that this also could be a trap, so I brace myself.
You get ready and prepare. The door goes. And inside, in the safe room of a castle that had his whole family, is one chair and one man sitting in it. Surrounding it is monitors, months of food, months of water, every amenity you could imagine. The generator sits in the corner, humming quietly to itself.
I walk up, and I get a little dramatic.
Yep, there's an old man sitting there with a drink in his hand.
Is he facing us?
I have. It
Sorry?
shoots teeth.
Is he facing us?
He is facing you. At this point, it's just you in the door. I want to give you this scene. So he's just tinkling the glass and some very expensive whiskey.
I'm gonna shoot the glass out of his hand.
Okay. Give me a scrap roll. And you get extra dice for this because you are who you are. So give me many. I will have many.
No.
Hey, everyone knows the scoundrel shoots first.
We're not scoundrels, we're corsairs.
Does the scoundrel want the
How
gun
many
with
dice
teeth?
am I adding?
You're rolling 2 extra because of your
Okay.
abilities. So.
Yeah.
Double 6s. Yeah, that's as good as that gets. So I need a pew, and it goes right through the glass and right through the hand and hits the wall behind it. The whole image goes and disappears. It's just a concrete hallway with a wooden chair and a little old man hiding behind it. It's like a chair that you had in school, and he's trying to hide behind it.
Is this one of those? Do not look behind the curtain.
Yeah.
The man behind the curtain is a liar.
Is he out there? Is he out there?
I sort of swagger slowly over.
Andre? Are you out there, Andre?
Give me one reason I shouldn't kill you.
'Cause I can give you this whole planet if you want it. Is my son out there somewhere?
Yeah, he's a piece of work, but
Have you met him?
This place is a little bit of a dump now. I wouldn't take the offer.
I have
He's a
met him.
dick.
Yeah, I know. That's Kind of thought you would be a dick too. Although I just met you, so maybe you could be a dick.
I am absolutely. I'm the dick that made that dick. And you can hear it. Not that he knows he's here. He's talking kind of past you to out in the hallway. I bet you don't use your real name anymore either, do you? I bet you're not Andre, are you? Nobody likes Andre. Nobody ever liked you, you little fuck.
Bones is howling in the communicator. You just hear him just laughing his
the
ass
robot
off.
is like looking at the ground, you know. This rebels up the hall just looking at the ground and looking around. And
There's a little tap on Rebel's shoulder.
Can I eat the terrible man when everything is done? You don't have dibs on his corpse, right?
I just want it to be over. I'm feeling sick.
Okay. So this is how it's gonna go.
Okay.
I don't care who dies or who lives, but I'm getting this planet. Actually, I'm getting this sector, I believe I was promised. So
That's what I promised. Hey, dear old dad, you hear that? I promised her the whole sector, you planet giving shit.
This planet is a terrible place now. I wouldn't keep
Oh,
it.
I have plans.
For all of me's?
You sell it for recycling at this point. There's a lot of material on this.
It's
planet.
just a moon. Fuck.
It is a moon entirely covered in a city. Yes. Well, the
I have
remains of a
plans
city,
for
I
you,
guess, would be more
Frankie.
accurate.
I have plans for
You have
April.
plans.
I have
Excellent.
plans for Mihoshi, and it's all gonna be great.
So, there's the old man. You look back to the side, there's Rebel. You are the greatest shot in all the universe. You do not have to roll for it. What do you
I
do?
have 2 guns.
Yes, you do.
Worse.
So,
How do I want to do this?
I'll give you a second to think about it. In the split second, and please don't anybody change what's about to happen, but you've got a split second to do something. What do you add to you see one of the possibilities is that only the 4 of you are standing here in just the briefest of moments. 8 Ball.
I have no idea what to do.
You freeze. Mihoshi. That's all the time you got. Just like bang.
Yeah.
Just gonna bounce in and jump on his shoulders.
Whose shoulders?
The hegemony.
Okay, the representative. Okay, so you bounce in and jump on top of him. Okay, still not blocking the view, but you're in there absolutely. And Frankie.
All the guns shoot teeth now. That's all.
So you switch.
It's big, sharp canines to shoot through.
There's an SCP for that.
Yes. Actually, Frankie, I'll give you this. At the end of, as you switch ammunitions, at the end of the hallway, a door bursts open and a bunch of guards walk in, only to be each shot. Oh, it acts like a shotgun, but it shoots them in a ring, so that when you get hit, it looks like a bite mark.
There you go.
Depending on how hard you shoot the gun, this is a system on how hard you pull the trigger. It just either leaves a bite mark or just an entire bit of cylinder of flesh just kind of flops out.
Well, a shotgun has a thing called a choke on it, where you can adjust it, so you can have it either bite or there's different settings. We can discuss that at some later point. Anyway, you rip apart yet another group of highly trained guards without having to make a roll, because that's how this is going.
I just sniff in their general direction.
Saga.
So I'm going to.
I know what Four Ball's doing.
Yes, you got it.
Poof! Drugs.
But Saga.
Yep.
Saga has fun on drugs.
Yes. They hit. A moment of clarity ensues. What does Saga do?
Saga likes to have some fun. Saga launches, so she runs towards Mr. Hideki and launches herself off of Mihoshi, Mihoshi, and then uses her momentum to run along the ceiling.
Yep.
Until she's between both of them but above them.
Yep.
And then closes her eyes, aims, and shoots.
Pew pew! At identical times. You're not looking, your eyes are closed. The old man's head just turns into vapor as the laser gasifies all the liquids in it. The robot, it goes in through one of those golden eyes, and there is a steamy poof, as whatever was inside there is turned to steam and gushes out of that broken eye. Rebel clang, 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 clang to the ground. The old man poof, to the ground. And you hear / feel almost all over this sector 11 more rebels. Dunk, 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 dunk. This was Rebel Prime.
The closet. Boom. What was that?
I sort of flip down and 3-point land in all the squidginess.
Oh yes, yeah.
And then I stand up and I look at the blood and I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna be fun. And
that's why you're not married. What kind of nice girl sprays around the blood like that?
Grandma,
I swear to God.
on the ship?
I was on this ship, and then your cousin made me put on a seatbelt. I don't wear seatbelts for no one. They make it so you can't get pregnant. I'm still having children. One of us has to.
Grandma, we're gonna have a talk when we get home.
Oh, we're having a talk now, dear. Come out of there and wash your hands. I got one of your cousins I want to meet. It's not ideal, but it'll do for now.
Saga just you know what? Later. Saga is going.
I love your grandma.
I ask 8-Ball to see if he can hack into the hegemony system.
What's left?
Yeah,
There's
what's left?
very, very little left of it, yes. And you asked 8-Ball a question. Dunk, 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 dunk. It is time to forge your own fate.
Damn right it is. So, I'm gonna commandeer this planet first.
Absolutely. So you head upstairs to start that process. Mahoshi, you look out through a blasted hole in the wall and see your father's pirate ship sailing across the city, taking out some of the last remains that the Frankies have not removed. The Frankies and your father are actually playing tag, except when a Frankie gets hit, they blow up and explode. When the pirate ship gets hit, a chunk gets blown out of it. They seem to be having a really good time, and they are apparently over time starting to minimize the number of wild Frankies roaming the planet, because the copies are not as good as the original.
Right. All right. So Miyoshi sees that the guy she's on is no longer alive, apparently. Right?
Yep. Oh yeah. Done.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she's just gonna hop off, put back on her pirate outfit,
Yep.
bounce around the area a little bit off of a couple of different Frankie heads,
Yeah.
picking up the pieces of her dad's ship and magically putting the ship back together as it falls apart.
Absolutely. I mean, this is a weird spur of the moment thing, but live stream. Let's do this. We are essentially done the fight. So we're already kind of doing it. Let's just epilogue right now, and I'll figure out something to put on next week. So we'll come back around. So Mahoshi, fill that out a little bit. You'll be our first one out. So you.
I will be right back.
You crush absolutely. You crush a couple more Frankie heads on the way by, just to balance how this works.
Bouncing off him and picking up.
You leap up and just start sticking the chunks back into the ship. Then what?
Well, once the fight is completely over and the ship's not falling apart, she is gonna hop onto the ship and start tinkering with it to where it morphs to something similar to the Rebel d'Alliance.
Yeah.
She is gonna walk over to where her father's piloting.
Oh yeah, he's at the wheel for sure.
Kick him out. Say, nope, you're gonna be navigation. I'm gonna pilot this thing. And she's gonna sit in the captain's chair.
Yeah.
She's gonna look at the controls, which makes sense to her, but not to anybody else at this point.
Absolutely, yeah.
She's gonna look for the craziest combination of numbers that she can think of.
Yep.
Her craziness. Punch those in. The ship's gonna rise out of the atmosphere, leaving behind a long message. Mihoshi was here. Daddy's with me. Fuck you all. Boom! Just flies away.
As you leave the atmosphere, your father turns to you with a big goofer grin on his face, and he says, "Your mother is going to kill both of us if she ever catches us."
Poof! The mom appears on the ship as well. Hi, Mom. We're having fun here. Want to play?
And she looks at you and says, "Oh, finally!" And boom, Pirate Queen. Queen Bernie. I just decided this. It's Bernie. It's about time. Shall we pirate?
Onward and upward and everywhere we go, we're just going to cause chaos and mayhem. Let's go!
And I don't have a new theme for you, so I'm just giving you Queen Bernie's theme again. As the family that pirate together sticks together, as the clan Mihoshi heads off to pillage the near space regions. Thank you so much. I love it. 8-ball. When Rebel's head explodes, a memory returns. 3 words. And unknown location. Oh, sorry, undisclosed. And
Yeah.
undisclosed location.
8-Ball's ball lights up, and you hear a ringing sound, like sort of like you just won the lottery kind of thing.
Yeah.
And Bones from the bridge is like, Sky! 130 years I've been trying to remember.
Yeah.
And so yeah, 8-Ball. We took I think we took Francesca. I'm trying to remember which shuttle we took.
Yep.
Fires up Francesca. Everyone else
We
seems.
took the Frankie.
That's right. We did take the Frankie.
The
The rowboat.
The
A
Rebel
regular-looking
Dalliance,
Frankie shows up on the ship.
Yeah.
Ready to go, sir.
The Rebel Dalliance sends you a message, 8-Ball. It just says, concentrate.
So 8-Ball does sort of. It doesn't look like anything different because obviously thousands of subroutines.
As you start to focus, you see a file.
8-Ball opens it.
It's your file. You made this.
Mm. Oh, it's the symphony, right?
Yes.
So this is going to be a few hours later. Everybody's kind of still partying.
Take the time. This is the epilogue. What happened?
Yeah.
Next.
So big party on the Dalliance. When everyone gets there, you see Bones has his new body, which is just like the body you see when I was playing him, except it's a lot nicer. It looks more like a skeleton, like what one would actually expect a robotic skeleton to look like.
Right.
And he's having a grand old time hosting this party. He's brought over a few of his old associates, people he used to run guns for, and his new business contacts. He extended an invitation to Queen Bernie, just not really sure where the fuck she went. So big party. Saga's learning a couple of new, who the new movers and shakers are in the sector. Bones manages to get a smuggling contract out of the Steels. You find that Q is actually chatting the shit out of Grandma. Like they're just having like the best time ever, like two old ladies at tea.
Yeah.
And in the midst of all this,
talk about respect and the lack thereof.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
In the midst
My
of all this,
bowels don't work like they used to.
this isn't even my body.
Oh, that must be terrible. That's somebody else's bowels that don't work. Oh, that's awful.
Yeah, exactly. In the midst of all this, 8-Ball just sort of slowly slips away. Even 4-Ball is busy.
Yep.
The camera pans, 8-Ball makes its way down to the AI core in the very depths of the ship. As they enter the doors open, you see a table with a red and white checkerboard tablecloth, a little candle, the candle holder, and two sets of plates. The one set of plates is actually edged up against the interface terminal for the AI core, and there's nothing on either plate. A bottle of vintage high quality lubricant is sitting on ice.
Yeah.
2 glasses. And 8-Ball sits down, raises a glass to the core, and internally presses play. And this is the symphony. The symphony is a catalog of all the things that the Rebel Dalliance was not able to experience as a ship. She's a frigate. She's a big girl. She can't experience the feeling of planetfall. So this is the first thing that she sees, is the heat, the rattling, that uncertain feeling as you're entering a planet's atmosphere for the first time in a ship that's barely bigger than a minivan. Within that, you're getting from that it goes into the swooping down into from clouds into the overview of a large city. It was the first city we went to, and we killed that judge. And visuals of cars driving, people living their lives, having conversations. The oh fuck of the judge as she turns around and gets shot. The sounds of screeching tires and excitement, the bio readings of the other crew members. You can see the heightened adrenaline and the ridiculous amounts of dopamine in Frankie's case. From there, it goes into like not telemetry data, but what it looks like from just atop the ship when you go through a gate, when everything, time itself seems to stretch and then crush and then warp and weird shit happens. So you get this absolutely blinding visual. And by the way, this is all 8-Ball's head.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like this is all sort of playing off on his skull. From there, you get it goes into a firefight. Blaster fire everywhere. Pew, pew, pew. The smell of cordite and, explosions and burnt metal and all that stuff. The brain patterns of someone who experiences a ridiculous amount of high quality drugs all at once. That would have been sold. And the sounds of euphoria in the capital city as the drugs started to make its way through the city and everybody's still having the greatest rave ever. And it ends with something that 8-Ball stole and the archives before we blew those servers. And this is when the music sort of calms, because this is like a big crescendo at this point, and it sort of calms, and it's kind of like a single violin, and there's a camera, and you see the skeleton of this ship being built, and this is on a planet. So this is the dry docks, and it's fast forwarding. You see the ship slowly being built, and people running in and out, and things happening, and the symphony literally ends with the Rebel Dalliance's first flight into orbit, feeling atmosphere on her own skin for the first and last time. And that's how the symphony ends. And at the very end of it, 8-Ball is standing on the interface, like has his hands on the interface, and at the very, very end sits down into the chair that was supposed to be the Rebel Dalliance's, and you see that there are 2 data link cables, and they've gone into the interface terminal, and when the symphony ends, 8-Ball goes dark. It has completely integrated itself into the ship. On the bow, a very large black 8. Well, a black circle with a white 8 on the inside pops up on the very bow. Not exactly a figurehead, but kind of a overarching decal. So 8-Ball and the ship are now one.
And head off to explore the universe to their robotic heart's content.
Mm-hmm.
Frankie. Oh, go ahead, Mahoshi. You had something to add?
I said no. Oh wow, is all I said.
I've been planning this for 2 months, dude.
Thank you for that. That was stunning. I loved that. When you came to me with that idea, it was a yes, I want to see this. Thank you. That was amazing.
Well,
And yeah, he had to be gone at the end. That's the only way that works. Frankie.
And for something I only planned just the last few seconds ago.
That's because that's what time as I gave most to you. Yeah.
as everyone gets onto the Rebel Dalliance to party and explore and do all that fun stuff, Frankie stays on the planet that's now been decimated.
Yep.
The moon that used to be a city.
Yeah.
And Frankie just kind of waves goodbye to everyone as they get onto the ship. And Frankie looks around and makes a few copies of himself, and then waves his hand at them, not to say goodbye, but just to kind of cast his reality bendingness on him, and just changes them genetically to become what was essentially Frankie's family on the planet that kills everything. I can't remember the planet's name.
I can't either. Doesn't matter now. It's home. That's all
And
I know it as.
yeah, I know. And Frankie just kind of looks around and thinks,
This is as good a place as it.
Frankie just kind of thinks, this is as good a place as any. And Frankie just kind of is now fully, because he's awakened in this way, he's also remembering things that he had kind of put down as a not needing to remember. But once he does remember, he goes back through the cycle. The family that you saw that were Frankie's weren't Frankie's parents or anything like that. In fact, they were guardians of the planet that Frankie has now just made more of on this planet. So Frankie opens the earth onto a set of stairs in a small temple, walks down into the planet's core itself, and begins another cycle of hibernation as this planet grows into another planet that will develop into reality bending, everything kills itself and everything kills each other kind of ways to dissuade people from ever going into the temple. For Frankie to then one day, once again, wake up, be found by his warriors of reality to bring him back up so the cycle can continue anew.
But this cycle takes thousands of years.
So by the time that anyone even remembers,
yes, no one will ever remember. This planet will be long gone. Even the saga of Saga will be done by then. Speaking of
and anyone
which,
who remembers of the god Frankie shall no longer be there to remember
the
him.
hidden temple that no one ever found. Which brings us to Saga, the new self-proclaimed queen of the sector. Your family has moved in. They've taken up all the good rooms upstairs. Your grandmother will not leave you alone. Your cousin keeps shooting things out in the yard. What do you do? Tell us how that's your wreckage. Now fix it to your satisfaction.
Saga doesn't really care what they do with the castle, because she's out pirating in the sector in order to keep her reign. She must enforce her power. Now she's a sadist and can be cruel and enjoys violence, but she's not unnecessarily mean. She rules with a strong hand, but she doesn't do things unfairly per se.
Yep.
She just is a little extra.
Technically, you would be a privateer as a pirate, but it's sponsored by the state because you are the state.
But I am the state. And so what actually happens is that I declare the sector its own basically crime syndicate.
Yep. Absolutely.
And the only affiliation I have with my family is that we are, let's call it, business partners.
Yes. Yeah.
I still use the Steel name, but it's more like instead of being the Steel Stealers, because that's the entire family,
Yes.
It's just the reign of Saga Steel.
The reign of Saga Steel. And what became
Everyone-
known in history as the only ever successful piratocracy
Exactly.
in the whole history of the universe, ruled by piracy. Where's the queen? I don't know. Do you see her?
And so she's able to she basically leaves people to, like, ambassadors to rule for her, but
And then raids them?
and then, yeah, exactly. She is the agent of chaos that keeps the order in her kingdom, basically. So
Absolutely.
it is both an honor and a terror to be raided by the queen.
Yes.
And
Okay, if our guesses are right, she's coming in 3 weeks. Get all the sparkly shit over there where the buildings are cardboard and we don't care about the people who guard them.
oh yeah, so
Just have a bunch of those like death row inmates. I don't know. Say it's a chance for redemption.
she also gathered up all of the poop diamonds or the
Yes.
fart diamonds
Yes.
and used
Sparkle
those
farts.
to fund her rebuilding of
I
the
was going
crime.
to say, I realized I have created a truly spectacular wealth creation program. And to be fair, if
This
you
needs-
did them ass out, you wouldn't even have to unthaw them all the way.
Precisely.
It is like the coffers are getting a little empty. Oh, there we go.
Someone thaw out grandma for a couple of minutes.
Maybe not grandma. Yeah, no, here's the thing. The only thing I want to add to Saga's story, no matter where you go, your grandmother keeps getting your cell phone number. She keeps getting your pirate boat number. She's sending you... It starts off with, like, links to nice dating sites, and you don't respond. Then it's, like, pictures of attractive men. And before you finally block her, the last thing she sends you, it says, "Is this what you want?" And there's an attachment. Do you open the attachment?
I'm gonna say yes, but before we do that,
Yeah.
I just want to note I also extend an offer of alliance or at least business
Yeah.
to Moji's family.
Okay. Yeah. Absolutely accepted. And yes, everything is yes, especially in an epilogue.
Cool.
You
Yeah,
open,
I open it.
You open the image. It's a dick pic. Your grandma has sent you somebody else's dick pic.
Every once in a while,
Honestly, it's the best one that she sent.
Yeah.
every once in a while,
Subtitled. I looked at thousands.
the cops that chase her occasionally are like really handsome.
Yeah.
Or it's because grandma's like,
And they don't seem to be
push-
wearing real policemen's outfits. It looks
Yeah.
like they tear away. Grandma is relentless.
she has her own criminal empire for the sole purpose of making sure her
Marrying off
grandkids
her
have kids.
granddaughters. Yeah.
They're no, dearie, they're not hookers. They're close, but they're not.
Remember that masseuse from episode 3?
That must have been a hologram. You know it wouldn't work.
So as the four of you head off to fame, fortune, or 1,000 years of well-earned rest, as the case may be, in a dark corner, completely forgotten by almost everybody, at least for the moment, Fourball opens a small invisible cupboard that no one has ever seen before, and he hangs the sword, and he hangs up his scalps, and he rocks his little head back and forth, and he looks in on the inside of the locker door, and there's a picture of a diamond-shaped rack with 9 balls in it.
Mhm.
And he just reaches over one little fist, goes into the closet, the door closes. and we will drop the curtain on Corsairs of the Cosmos with that. Thank you so much. Thank you all so much. What a season. I said break the game. This was the game I asked you to break, and you broke it beautifully. We just did a final battle with one scrap roll. One. Out of the whole, we wiped out a planet. We took over a sector. One scrap roll out of all of that. Next week, I think what I'm going to do is show off the new virtual tabletop that we're going to use moving forward in new shows, I think is what I'm going to put next week in this spot. But I will certainly check into the Discord, which gives me an excuse to do this. Check the Discord this week, and I will let you know exactly what's going to happen a week from tonight. But that's a week from tonight. This wasn't expected to be the last episode. This was going to be the big battle, and then we were going to do the epilogue next week. But we got it all done, because that's what live does. We got it all done with 8 minutes to spare. I know you have to go, because you got work to get to.
I still got an hour, so we.
Okay, so I'm still going to do you first, because I already started. Bison, thank you for bringing 8-Ball, which was never supposed to be more than like 8-Ball and 4-Ball, right? That was all that was originally this group.
Yeah, and it just sort of spiraled.
It just snowballed from there, and at the end of this, we ended up with a rack full of balls, which sounds rude in several ways. But thank you so much for coming to play with us. I hope you had fun.
I certainly did.
Enjoy having you. And a side thank you to the props artist. I know they're probably listening somewhere. Amazing, amazing work. 4-Ball is my hero. Snowball is another member of the family, but he only comes over at Christmas, and he won't come inside.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kalina. Hi. Thank you. Next on the thank yous, let's do Scarred Adventure. Frankie was a departure. I know anybody that's seen you and I over the last couple of years has seen you play a series of dark characters. Some of them may have seen Zhivago, but this was a whole level above that. So thank you for bringing the well and truly crazy to this game. I appreciate it very, very much.
Just crazy, and then I decided not to go horny, so that was just
that's
not Zhivago route.
We had plenty of that, which we'll get to in a minute. But thank you so much, everybody. Go check out Scarred on all the things he's doing. He's being really, really supportive for everybody else, as well as putting in a lot of effort himself. And watch over the next couple weeks. After next week, you'll get to see some episodes of him running a superhero game for some of our other players. Thank you again, Scarred. I appreciate every second of it. Next, because you clapped, you moved. Mahoshi played for us by Solar Dasher. Oh wow! Mahoshi was so much fun. The innocence never disappeared. You guys this was just a rampage, just of fun. You destroyed a sector. You started and ended a civil war. You started and ended an invasion. You started and ended a revolution. But through all of that, Mahoshi never got a bit of dirt on her. Never a mark. And yet, she was a dirty girl a couple times. So thank you so much. I appreciate you bringing Mahoshi to the table. And you and Bison, I keep calling you guys my regulars because every time I need somebody to fill the space, you guys pop in. So thank you for that as well. I hope you enjoyed this. And we will definitely, absolutely get all of you in future games on this channel. I loved every second of it. Which brings us to Frozen in the Cupboard for many weeks. Poop and Diamonds as her first thing that she did. Spent most of this episode embarrassed because I missed you, and I just piled weeks because I love to watch you blush. It's been weeks, so I just piled it all on you at once this week. I just laid it in. So thank you so much for coming back and allowing me to get that out of my system, and bringing Saga back and fulfilling her dream. She might be a pirate's daughter, but she is a queen in her own right. Thank you so much, and I'm so glad you got back for this final episode.
Thank you for letting me come back. I honestly didn't know that, I didn't think this was going to be the final episode.
Well,
I didn't even realize that the last episode was only an epilogue, so I was like, we'll have the final confrontation without me, it's fine. But this was awesome.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed. And we will get, like I said, every single person on this channel that wants to be in games gets to be in games. The Fun Shot Fridays are for everybody. They're open for everybody. Go to that Discord. If you had fun tonight watching this, go to the Discord and be brave. Sign up for one of the Fun Shots. They are a blast. We create characters right on the fly. It's this crazy or even more every week. And yes, everybody can do it. Everybody can do it. So come and play with us on Fridays, and then from that, yes, Saga finished the Saga. It is complete.
The Saga.
And then we've got 2 upcoming shows. They're going to be a little more serious than these because, I mean, between the Fun Shots and this, I don't know if you can get much funnier in a live improv show. So we're going to serious it up for a couple months and do some slightly more serious shows. But we will get to those in the future. There's 2 big thank yous left. And these ones are really, really heartfelt because I know the people in chat have either been here every week or tried to be here every week or showed up every week and had their phone tell them their internet was not going to accept them Twitch this week, and they showed up again the next week to try again. You guys were interactive even when I was so sucked into the story that I forgot there was a chat going on and I didn't talk to you.
That's a shitty one. Man.
Guys are amazing. 9 weeks. I had an absolute blast. Thank you so much for watching and playing with us, and thank you for breaking the game. It did work. My experiment worked. You can just break all the rules and still tell the story that makes sense, and still have heroes, and still have a beginning and a middle and an end. It can be done.
Oh yeah.
Thank you to all the people on YouTube in the future. And let's wrap it up. Absolutely. A bunch of purple hearts. And
Yes.
please, until the next time we see you, be nice to each other. Good night.
Nice.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Yeah.